Rise and shine, superstars. It's your favorite light coach, MB, and today is a great day. Why? Because you are still here. So stop whatever you're doing, scream at the top of your lungs, come through! If you are so grateful and thankful that God woke you up to see another day and giving you another opportunity at life. Gratitude is the absolute best way for you to start your day. And if for some reason you don't feel or don't know if you're grateful for being alive another day, then I challenge you to just take some time out, sit by yourself today, and come up with at least one good reason why you should be thankful that you're alive for another day. Because you are here for a purpose. You are here for a reason. And whatever your situation is right now, it's just here for a season. So do not make any permanent decisions based on a temporary situation or feeling. All right, guys, this week we are talking about the 6 key principles you can use to accomplish absolutely any goal. And we're using the word dreams, D-R-E-A-M-S, to navigate through those principles. On Monday, we were talking about discipline, which is the act of completing the necessary small things consistently in order to achieve your big goal. On Tuesday, we were talking about resilience. Resilience is the ability to adapt to change or adjust to challenges that life may throw your way. When you decide to have an intention about doing something, you're going to face adversity and you have to be resilient. Yesterday, we discussed excellence. Now, excellence is executing the skill developing tasks that take place in the dark. Okay, so that's the D-R-E. And today we are on A, which is actions. It is so funny because every time I hear the word actions, I think of Whitley Gilbert off of A Different World. And there's this episode where she was the director of their Black History program. So she had the little director's hat. She had a little director's run. And you know Whitley, she loved bossing people around anyway. So she was on stage telling people where to go, what to set up here, when to do this, when to do that. And then every time it was time to start recording, she would take her little wine out and she'd be like, action! And like, it just tickles me every time. But the word of the day is action. And simply put, action is doing. Now, when you have a goal that you are aiming towards, something that you want to accomplish, you need to have a specific type of action. You can't just be a busy doer. You have to be an intentional doer. Like you have to set your mind to do the things that will actually get you to the goal and not just do things that make you feel good because you stay busy throughout the day. It's really, really important that when you're thinking about your actions in order to achieve your goal, that your actions are intentional and not just busy. So I like to tell this story. There's a lady named Miss Betty. Some people call her Busybody Betty. Busybody Betty. That's because she was a people person. Like she loved people. She was a people pleaser. She was a people provider. She wanted to do everything she could. She ride around. She always had stuff in the back of her car. Like she looked like she was homeless, but she wasn't. But if you needed something, she could pop the trunk and it was probably in there. Like she had everything that you need. She would drive around from here to there. She always provided for people and it just made her feel really good. She was constantly on the move. Like she was the go-to person. She loved going to work because that meant she could be around people. She could laugh with people. She could talk to people. She could listen to people's problems. She could talk about those problems behind the person's back to some other people who she's gossiping in the office with. That's none of my business. I'm just telling y'all what I heard. I'm kidding. But no, she was like always in the mix. She loved having people come to her desk. So this is what she would do. She would go to Sam's and Costco's every Wednesday and Saturday, and she would stock up on office supplies. Now, I'm not talking about pens, notebooks, pads, 3-ring binders and stuff like that. I'm talking about Oreos, Snickers, M&M's, Skittles, all the gum, whatever, anything that they needed, she would go and get. And she was in there all of the time. Like I'm talking about her ID badge, her membership badge. They had her picture up on the wall under Employee of the Month one month because she is always in there. It's completely ridiculous. But it made her feel good, so that's what she did. So she would go back to the office. She would have everything set up. People would come over to her. And don't let the holidays come around. Like she was like the classroom mom. Y'all remember the classroom mom that always, like you wanted the classroom mom to be a stay-at-home mom who liked to bake. You didn't want some whack classroom mom. Her son or daughter always came when it was their birthday with the best cupcakes for everybody. And they had candles and ice cream and everything. Then the holidays came around. That was Miss Betty. Miss Betty would do that. She would bring cupcakes to office for people's birthdays. She would bring holiday cookies and Rice Krispie treats. And when the Christmas holiday rolled around, y'all, she shut the office down. I'm talking about she had everything. You wanted to be in Miss Betty's section of the office during the holiday season because Miss Betty had it going on. So then what happens? Miss Betty finally reaches retirement age, and her supervisor comes to her and she's like, Betty, what you gonna do? You about to retire? She said, I'm gonna enjoy all my free time. So time rolls by. She didn't have any plans for after working. She had no retirement plan. She was like, I'll just, go with the flow, figure out how it goes. And she found herself becoming more and more unhappy each day. So she was like, what do I need to do? Because this isn't gonna work. I can't sit at home and watch TV all day. So she just started figuring out things to do. Was it going towards a specific purpose? No, because she didn't know what she was supposed to be doing after she retired. So she would do stuff like pick up stray dogs and cats out the neighborhood or riding around. Like, she loved animals. And now that she was at home all the time, she would take care of them. So she would bring them in, love on them, hug on them. But that still wasn't enough. So then she would grab some old ladies from the street. She was like, well, not from the street. Let me clear that up. She would grab some old ladies who needed a ride to the grocery store, okay? So she would take them, she would carpool them to the grocery store, and then on the days that she wasn't carpooling them, sometimes she'd go back and find the same old ladies or some different folks, and she would carpool them to the bingo hall. Like, Miss Betty had it, like, her schedule was wake up, all right, feed the dogs. Wake up, go to the grocery store, come back home, unload the groceries, feed the dogs, let the dogs outside, bring the dogs back in. Then she would leave and she would go pick up the old ladies, and whatever old ladies, she would take them to the grocery store. And while she was out, she would grab a bite to eat for her and the old ladies and the other friends that came along with them. Then she would come back home, go walk the dogs because she wanted to get her exercise in. She'd leave the dogs back at home. Then she had to go out of the house to go get people to go to the bingo hall. And she would hang out at the bingo hall all night. Then she would come back home and do it all over again the next day. Like, she stayed busy. When I tell you that was busybody Betty, she was busybody Betty, okay? She did not sit down for anything. But the problem was she wasn't living out her purpose because she didn't have a plan or a goal. She was just going with the flow, and she was getting good feelings with it because it made her feel, her busyness made her feel productive. So when you have a goal and you have to take actions towards the goal, be very careful not to allow your busyness to translate over as productivity. Because the actions that you're taking when you need to accomplish a goal, they need to be intentional actions towards your specific goal. Otherwise, you're going to be like running on a hamster wheel, wondering why you're not getting anywhere, but you're constantly doing work. It's like somebody who wants to sign up for the Couch to 5K program. They all excited. They're like, yeah, you got the goal. You vision yourself out there on the track running. And so you start putting in work. You start doing. But you're not training. You start doing by researching to see, okay, well, what kind of track shoes do I need to wear for a 5K? Then you spend time doing that. Then you find the shoes. Then you start researching, okay, well, what kind of clothes do I need to wear based off of my location and the time of season that I'm going to be running outside that's not going to weigh me down, but it's going to make sure that I'm comfortable. I'm not too hot. I'm not too cold. So now you're researching clothes so you can look cute. You're going to be fly, right? Because your goal is from couch to 5K, but you're focusing on the busy work that's not productively getting you closer to the goal. Then you're like, well, wait a minute. If it's going to be hot outside, I need to be drinking some water. So how much water do I drink before the race? Do I drink any water during the race? If so, how much water do I drink during the race? And I know I got to reload after the race, but do I need to put some electrolytes or something in there? And where do I get the electrolytes from? You're doing all this research. You're doing all of this doing, but you're not actually getting the actions done that are going to get you to the goal. All you're simply doing is staying busy with the mindset. It's like the goal is in your peripheral and your focus is on the wrong thing. But what you have to do is shift the goal out of your peripheral into your plain line sight of view and take the actions that are intentional towards that goal. All the other stuff that you're doing that's keeping you busy, that's making you feel productive, that should be the peripheral stuff. That should be the stuff done after you've done spent the important time doing the intentional things. So I want to challenge you guys today. I'm so proud of you for having a goal. I'm so proud of you for remaining disciplined, remaining resilient, and having an attitude of excellence so that you can accomplish the goal. But I want you to take inventory of your actions because I know you're acting. You don't have a goal with discipline, resilience, and excellence and no action. Take inventory of your actions today and monitor yourself and say, is this action that I'm doing consistently going to get me closer to my goal? Or am I just going on a hamster wheel? Am I just running in place, making myself feel like, that feeling of being busy makes you feel important. It makes you feel good. Are you just making yourself feel important? or are you actually taking steps towards the intentional action steps towards the goal that you have for yourself? I really want you guys to focus on that today, and meet me back here tonight and let me know what you came up with, because we got goals to accomplish out here, and they ain't gonna get done without the right actions. But you know what it is. If you don't remember anything else today, always remember this. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be great. It's a great day to find the greatness in you and go out and have the greatest day of your life.